All right. It's a little bit of a different intro, right? Because I don't normally do this at all, but I see I have to heavily start pushing this because of the way that YouTube is trying to move towards me and my platform. Um, it would be very great and very awesome if those who do support me and what it is that I do every single day, how it is that I bring the news, um, opinions, make you laugh, whatever it is, it would be great if you would join the Patreon because obviously YouTube does not want to actually pay a black content creator. YouTube wants to stop that from taking place. And I've said a multitude of times that I would rather rely on, you guys. I would rather rely on people that watch, that people that are subscribed to the platform versus having to rely on anything directly coming from, YouTube. Because this is exactly what can happen when other people are basically in control. And if they don't agree with what it is or they don't like what it is that you basically stand for and what you're saying and or talking about. So, like I said before the video gets started, it'd be great if you guys would, join the Patreon or, also look at some of the other links that I have listed in the comment description below for the channel support because this is clear cut an attack on me on my platform due to the fact that I am a black man, due to the fact that I do quote unquote black media or, what have you. And I'm going to clear cut show you proof of that in the video. So let's get to it. All right. No intro, anything like that. Please excuse the cat in the background, clearly, playing directly with her toy. So this basically is about YouTube, and I'm using this for documentation purposes, as well as to get this message out to a lot of my subscribers, right, and whoever else basically watches. This is pretty much something I've been dealing with for a very long time, dealing with YouTube. Every now and again, YouTube decides that um, for whatever reason, they don't like the videos that I put out or what have you, whatever it is. And they'll decide to do this, time and time again. So basically, what happened the very first time, right? Not sure if you guys can clearly see it. It might be a little bit blurred, maybe due to the compression or what have you. But the picture to the left is that of Tuesday, April 20th at 4:16 p.m., where YouTube, this was one of the things that YouTube did in order to uh, demonetize the platform, right? So, what YouTube decided to do was hand down a flagrant strike, which it didn't even need to be a strike for no reason because the video that I actually did existed on a platform for quite some time, right? And then I also, when I wrote to YouTube, I listened to them and told them, like, hey, there are other videos on the platform that are the same, if not reflective of the exact same content that you're trying to penalize me for, and that you want to quote unquote give me a strike on and you want to remove directly from the platform. So, in all fairness, if you're going to do this, then you might as well do this to the others who have roughly the same exact content, if not something similar up, right? And this is when later on, Sunday, July 11th at 4:47 a.m., YouTube was like, hey, we reviewed your video, and after taking another look, we can confirm that your content does not violate our violent or graphic content policy, right? So remember, this year, this happened on April 20th. YouTube ended up responding back Sunday, July 11th, right? So everything is said and done. The other strike that was there, they wanted to keep that there because they said that I was quote unquote harassing or cyberbullying a certain group or people when clearly I wasn't. Clearly I wasn't. If you want to view that video is clearly on IG. Um, And then I also pointed out to YouTube the fact that there are other people, other individuals that have the same content, if not similar to what was directly in the video. YouTube later came back on that one, and they decided to say that they're going to stick with what it is that they stated, and they were just going to enforce that one. But realistically, what should have taken place, right, was that the first strike should not even have existed. If they were going to give me a strike, then they would have obviously kept it on the other video where I was specifically speaking on a certain topic and a certain grouping of people, right? And I was allowing the video to basically, um, speak for itself. And the platform pretty much should have actually, been fine. But like I said before, YouTube deliberately did this repeatedly as to give a reason as to why it is that they decided that, oh, we're just going to demonetize you. So have at it, right? So let's go to the next one. So here we are right now, right? And as of today, at this moment in time, YouTube decided that around 4:26 a.m. that they review content on the channel, and unfortunately, they said we think it violates our violent and graphic content policy. Now, remember, I just read off to you that they previously stated that and found that I did not violate that at all. And what they decided to do is that they were going to make that video 18 plus or what have you, because that's normally what YouTube will decide to do. And also the funniest thing about it is the reason that YouTube keeps continuously going after this video is because it still pulls in views because somebody on TikTok basically has it linked, and they basically send everybody comes here to the original video, which is completely cool. That's completely awesome. And also shout out to that person on TikTok. um but like I said before, this is the craziest thing about this. This is what I continuously have to go through. So when you guys hear me and it sounds like I'm a little bit out of it, wear and tear and everything like that, this is why. Because of this. And this is another reason why, I try to say in so many words like, hey, it'd be great if you guys would support the platform, become a Patreon and different things like that. Because I would rather be dependent on you guys, right? And have to rely on you guys versus having to rely on YouTube to do what it is that they're supposed to be doing, because they don't want to do the right thing. They want to find every single direction, every single excuse as to why it is that they don't want to remonetize my YouTube channel. So this is where we are, right? So they came back and got me for the same exact content again, and people think I'm making this up. This is obvious proof. I'm showing you documented proof by way of YouTube, by way of the emails that I have, that this is exactly what they did. They got me on the same video twice. They got me on the same video twice. For what reason? Oh, that's right, because I resubmitted. I listened to what you stated. I resubmitted so that I can get back into the partner program. And then you guys are supposed to go through the video, and y'all said through the channel, y'all said it's going to take about a month roughly. And when that time was basically up, y'all were just like, or whoever's basically was going over the channel, they got tired of it and they were like, oh, you know what? I don't feel like going through this. Let me get this video I basically saved and let this be the reason. Like I said, YouTube doesn't even want to do its own job. It's either two ways this went down, right? YouTube is not actually doing it themselves. The algorithm, right? Their computers are allowed, right, to basically filter through somebody's channel. And then if they find anything that is objectionable, right, they're going to flag it, right? Like we have here. Or number two, somebody, a human being that works at YouTube who didn't want to fully do their job, or a few individuals who didn't want to do their job, just all decided, you know what? I don't feel like going through this content anymore. I could care less about this channel. It is what it is. And we're just going to, put this directly up there for the reason that, we're not going to look at this channel. We're going to put this up there for the reason that it's not going to be monetized. And, you're just going to have to hold that up until February, right? So, like I said before, this channel has been demonetized for long time, a long time. Roughly what, July plus, maybe, that it has been demonetized, and then they're trying to push that all the way to like February, and then they're just going to continuously do the exact same thing because they can't, in a sense, get the channel anything new because I haven't put anything new up. This is how YouTube tries to transform a channel. At one point in time, that was a living channel. Like I said, 40 plus, if not maybe potentially 50 million people view that channel, and they, in a sense, make it into a dead channel. And that's what they're continuously trying to do. So they're trying to crop out and get rid of anything that will potentially still bring in views. And then they're going to make sure that if anything does move, that they will be the ones to get money directly from it. Because the funniest thing is, I sat up there and looked at one point in time because I looked at the back analytics, and it said the money was a negative. So basically, the channel, in a sense, did make something. Wasn't, really much. It was probably enough for like a phone bill. And they were like, it's negative that amount. And I'm like, I've never seen that before. Like, how is it negative that amount? Did they like rescind the money? Did they take back the money? Like, how exactly does that work where somebody who's supposed to be able to make money off of their content is negative a certain amount that is showed? But like I said before, YouTube is able to make money off of platforms, off of channels that are not monetized. Like I said, that channel was close to 100K, and they did every single thing to make sure that it would not reach 100K. Kudos to you. Kudos to you. Y'all doing an excellent and a very, very good job. Let's go to the next one. Last but not least, I wish I would have actually had the previous image up of when I reapplied, but I don't at this moment in time. But what I can tell you is that I replied back on October 3rd, and that was clearly stated directly on the channel where you see to the right, that image that's up there where the trees and stuff are. Normally, if you reapply or you apply to YouTube to become a part of the partner program, it'll tell you how long it'll basically take, and it'll give you a date, right? A standardized date. And then after that, you're either accepted or you're not accepted for those who are applying to get their channel, monetized. For me, right, who has to reapply after certain um, things that they've decided to pass, right? And they did this at a specific time, right, in order to hold me directly in a loop, right? So here we are now, right? Saturday, July 16th, right? They said during a recent review, our team of policy specialists, right? These are the specialists, carefully looked over the videos you've uploaded on your channel, SEIJIHITO. We found that a significant portion of your channel is not in line with our YouTube partner program policies. As of today, your channel is not eligible for monetization and will not have access to monetization tools and features. Now, the issue with this is there were two videos that they're specifically talking about. The one video, which is the guy on the subway station, and the second video, which is on IG, which obviously I'm not going to talk about here because YouTube likes to act flagrant, as you can clearly see, even though the video is speaking for itself and I'm not directly saying anything really, right? I'm only talking for about maybe 1 to 2 minutes out of like the 30 plus whatever, minute video that it basically was. So that was back in July. And now YouTube hit me with some other nonsense where when I reapplied on October 3rd, they were supposed to, give me a decision on if they were going to, allow me back in. They were like, up, we found this video. We're going to strike the channel, basically unlisting me from applying because when you receive that, you can no longer, I guess, be a part of the program, however it works, however they basically got their rules and stuff like that now, right? So now they basically reset that, which means that I would have to reapply and then wait another 30 days for them to more than likely do the exact same thing. Like I said, it's a rinse, wash, and repeat. And the main reason why they're doing it is because that channel was very close to 100K. And that channel had a lot of people basically watching it. And they don't want, in a sense, to, I guess, give me that plaque. Because whenever you reach 100K, you're supposed to get like a plaque just for making 100, subscribers. You're supposed to get a plaque. There were no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You were just supposed to get a plaque. So they're like, you know what? He's encroaching on, on that 90. We're going to keep him at 80 for a minute, right? Okay, we're now going to allow him to technically get that 90 just a little bit. So now we're going to hold it back a little bit. And then he just kept doing that and doing that and doing that, right? And still to this day, that channel is not even at 100K. And I've been at 90 something, 80 something for quite a while. But like I said, these are the games that YouTube likes to play. And this is pretty much where we are. This is why, during a lot of the streams, you see like the banner where it's like, hey, become a Patreon member. Doesn't even really, cost that much. And, anything that you basically put directly towards support of the channel, it helps out immensely. And like I said before, you don't have to worry about YouTube taking half of that. So if you, donate, like $5, YouTube is going to be like, oh, that's $5. We're going to take like two something of that. I mean, sorry, we're going to take the greater majority. We're going to leave you with two something, right? They'll do stuff like that, right? So, like I said before, I don't know what else to directly tell people. I don't know what else to directly, tell you guys, but these are the struggles of a black content creator who does not have a push, who does not have a huge voice out here, television shows and all this other stuff. Like I said, I do all of this myself. I do all of the editing myself. I spend, hours directly on, the computer. Any, computers that I've, bought, I bought that with, you know, the money that I basically have, right? And, that's how I do the work that I do. And as I told you guys before, I love doing the stuff that I do on an everyday basis. But YouTube is doing everything that it can in order to not allow me to do this so that, I can't put out news and bring different things, directly to you guys. So, below in the comment section, I'll probably have a different intro for this at the front to basically direct you guys to, the Patreon or different things like that. Just, if you would like to donate to the platform or to become a Patreon member. Because, like I said before, I would rather depend and rely on y'all versus depending on YouTube. Like, this wouldn't even affect me, right? If I had people, 100% just like directly in, like the Patreon and different stuff like that. So, it is what it is. But let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. As always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.